Good afternoon, St. Francis, and good afternoon, people of God. It is Sunday, the 8th day of December, 2024, Sunday of, the second Sunday of Advent. It is not the Immaculate Conception. That got pushed to tomorrow. Yes, the Immaculate Conception is a holy day of obligation all of a sudden, because it was recognized that it is our patronal feast as the United States, and so we had to do something with it. And so basically, we turned it into not just a holy day, but now a holy day of obligation, which it always is, except when it fell on a Saturday or a Monday, because like other holy days of obligation that do that, the obligation is suppressed because it's a Saturday and too close to Sunday. But why are we celebrating Immaculate Conception today? Well, because Jesus always ranks first, and Mary would want it that way. And since this is a Sunday in Advent, it is a Sunday of Christ. It is the Sunday of the resurrection. And so it gets pride of place. So Mary gets bumped to the next day, which she is quite happy with. And so tomorrow we will look at the Immaculate Conception. But today is the second Sunday of Advent. And where am I? And this is late. That's why I said good afternoon, because I had an incredibly busy weekend and I forgot all about them doing Sunday reflections. So sorry. So hopefully somebody will see this maybe eventually. But where am I? I am in the Catholic Center, and we have just had our tree installed. We'll have lights placed on it this week, as well as ornaments right there. And then behind me over here is one of the many nativity scenes I have. This is the Bellique one, but we put it here in the lobby of the Catholic Center, kind of as a centerpiece for nativity. Some other ones go upstairs outside Bishop's office too. So again, the creche exhibit for St. Francis will be beginning next Friday and through the weekend. Some of those creches, though, are here because I try to make sure Bishop's office has a creche. So other kinds of creches. So you can come here and see them too, but you'll see them more at St. Francis beginning on Friday and through the weekend. Oops, there I go. Okay, so but today's readings. Okay, today's readings kind of put to rest whether or not this season is a penitential season, because it isn't. It is a season of expectant joy, and no more, no less. It is a season out of step. It is a season that is unlike any other season. It is because there are 17 days until Christmas beginning today. So all of this kind of ties in to recognizing the distinctiveness in Advent today. The gospel, again, introduces us to the Baptist and gives a whole historical context of who was governor here or prefect here or whatever it was, as when John the Baptist appears in the desert to begin the proclamation. It is a proclamation for the forgiveness of sins. And again, this is why Advent is a penitential season. No, it isn't. Don't read so much into these things. Because what follows this mention of the proclamation of John's message about forgiveness of sins and baptism for forgiveness of sins, it is so that a way may be made in the desert because the Lord is coming, to take Isaiah and to put that into practice. The Baptists thought that we needed to be baptized and to be able to have our sins forgiven, to have that done. The Baptist also expected a Jesus who was not the Jesus who eventually came. It is not the one who is throwing the sinners into fire and all kinds of things like that. It was a Jesus who preached love and forgiveness and the ability to begin again and again and again. So the Baptist proclamation has to be seen in the greater context of who this Jesus becomes and what his mission and his ministry is. It also, again, can't focus upon sin because the first two readings that preceded, the one from Jeremiah, talks about Jerusalem throwing off its cloak of mourning, standing on the precipice, standing on the great tower, and seeing the return of those who were led into exile by enemies, not necessarily because of their sins and their offenses to God and whatever it is, that their enemies led them into exile, and now God brings back what has been lost, what has fallen apart, to become united again with this city that belongs to the Lord in Jerusalem. Again, so this gospel, or this first reading from Jeremiah, of joy and of wonder, of restoration. In the second reading from Philippians, we have the great introduction in which St. Paul gives to the Philippians in this letter to them, in which he praises them for keeping on loving and to demonstrating how powerful is their love and the ability to love, and the fact that they have not stopped loving, that love makes everything possible. From that, they begin to know what truly matters, what truly is of value, because love enables that. Not confession of sins and navel gazing in our own brokenness, but the understanding that there is much more to this world and much more to ourselves than we can dare to imagine. And the Philippians seem to be on task to embrace that great wonder of what is true and real about our lives and what is of value. A wonderful way to keep moving forward, to run to meet this Christ. Keep moving forward to expect this Christ who makes all things well and who basically brings to fulfillment God's plan from the beginning of time, who we await to come back to fulfill that plan and to bring us all into glory. Again, Advent's focus on this wonder, on this beauty, not on brokenness and pain, but on a God who relieves, who basically heals, who finds solution to all those things that make us less than human and allows us to rejoice in the ability to have a God who does so. A blessed Advent, a blessed afternoon, St. Francis and people of God, may the Lord give you his peace.